This lesson we will discuss the topic of graphing a quadratic function. Our student learning objectives for this lesson: define parabola, identify parts of a parabola, and use equations to find parts of a parabola. Our essential questions: what is a parabola? What is a vertex and axis of symmetry? And what are zeros? The Common Core standards are right below. So we'll start off by answering the first essential question. The graph of a quadratic function is called a parabola. So here's what a parabola looks like. It has a vertex and an axis of symmetry, and we'll talk about what those things mean. But first, we have to state that parabolas can either open up or down. And then the turning point of the graph, which is called the vertex, can either be the highest point of the parabola or the lowest point. And we'll talk about the high and low points later. But for now, parabolas are symmetrical. So there's a line called the axis of symmetry. It's a vertical line that passes through the vertex. And that is the reflection point. So it's like the mirror part of the parabola. Next, we're going to be getting into equations to find the vertex and the axis of symmetry. And I just want to review the standard form of a quadratic function, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And if we take that quadratic function and we use those coefficients, just like we did with quadratic formula, we can use those coefficients to find the vertex. And the vertex will be, the x value of the point where the vertex is will be negative b over 2a, using those coefficients from the standard form of our quadratic function. Now, since this is just the x value and a vertical line is modeled by x equals and then a constant number, this is also the equation for the axis of symmetry, since the vertical line runs through the vertex. So it would be the x value, that would be the equation of the axis of symmetry. And last but not least, quadratic functions have two zeros, at the most two zeros. That's where the parabola intersects the x-axis. And that's where the function itself equals 0. That's why when using the quadratic formula, we set the standard the standard form of the equation equal to 0 before we factored. So like I just said, the x values for these zeros can be found by using the quadratic formula or by factoring. Any way that you can find a factor and set it equal to 0, that will help you find the x values for the zeros. The y value for all zeros will always be 0. That's why we set those factors equal to 0. So for example, if the parabola intersected the x-axis at 3, if we knew that 3 was the x value for one of the zeros, then we would say at the point 3, 0 is where the parabola intersects the x-axis. And that's all I have for you for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you learned some things. Go ahead, try your homework assignment. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me on BBIM or by text message or email, whichever is easier for you. And be sure to come to live class and we can try a couple examples out. All right, thanks.